All right, so we have Scott Candell, owner of Royal Flush in Las Vegas. Scott, how you doing today?
I'm great. Brett, how about you?
I'm great, great. Thank you for taking the time to do this today, man. I really appreciate it. So pretty much what we're going to do is just go over just like your business, you, and just how our program went for you, okay?
All right.
So I'm just gonna ask you some rapid fire questions, and you think of anything better, just to include your feedback's always welcome. Before you started with Porta Potty Marketing Pros, how many leads did you think you were getting before a program, and how many leads do you think you're getting now?
Before we started with Porta Potty Marketing Pros, we were a very small business. Right before we started, we were probably less than 200,000 in revenue, and
Mhm.
now we're up to about 2 million in revenue. But to
Wow.
answer the question about how many leads, I would guess that just, through dumb luck and through people seeing the porta potties, we were getting a handful, maybe two handfuls of calls a week, some qualified, some not. And
Yeah.
then once we got really in the groove with you guys, we are in the dozens and several dozens, and that's in the form of lead forms and then also just direct calls to our office.
Those are really nice. And like what kind of leads do you think you got? Like as far as like the big ones, what did you see? Like what are those ones that are like really exciting? Like did you get those big jobs? Were they construction? Was it parties? Like was it everything or what kind of leads?
Sure. Porta Potty Marketing Pros has brought us several categories of leads. We advertise for construction, both residential and commercial construction. And then in our event advertising, we're really looking for private events. That's the small stuff in the backyard or,
Mhm.
that kind of thing. And then also public events like street fairs, festivals, and so on. One of the most successful advertising, I guess, calls that we got was from a construction company that I will leave nameless. But they used us for almost a year,
Yeah.
and it was about $4,800 a month from that call. So you do the math; it's nearly $60,000 in that 1 year that Google paperclip call got us.
That's amazing. That's maybe a few employees. Nice little vacation for Mr. Candell, right?
That's right.
There you go. He's smiling, everybody. That's the thing. He doesn't dial that much either anymore, right? All
Right.
right. Anyways, what different things did we try to help you succeed? Like in the beginning, like what were those different things? It's not just marketing, but just working with us in general, Porta Potty Marketing Pros.
Brett and the guys at Porta Potty Marketing Pros helped me with several things in the business.
Mhm.
First off, I bought into this industry, so I was no industry expert, that's for sure. I had a blue collar business prior, but not in sanitation. So they helped me actually learn a little bit about the industry just from a high level, number one. Number two, my website was just plain awful. I think the previous owner, no offense to him, did the best that he could, but it looks kind of like he built it himself and it was just very basic. So when Brett and the guys got a hold of me, they rebuilt my website, rebuilt landing pages and the drill down pages and the menu bars and the whole works, rebuilt the whole website. So one, they helped inform me a little more about the industry. They also just helped with my website, which is the first meeting that the customer gets with us. Brett was also excellent in listening to some of our calls that are recorded for inbound calls so that we can listen and make sure that our sales are on point, make sure that we're responding quickly, that we're responding accurately, that we have a smile in our voice when we talk to the customer, and so on. And then, understanding SEO and what keywords need to be used, how to best find the right the right folks that are looking. We don't want everybody to click on the ad. We want the right people to click on the ad. And Brett and the guys really helped me understand that.
Well, thank you, Scott. Yeah, I mean it's really important. Like, you get the phone calls, but you need the smile when you're answering that phone. Close more deals, right?
Right.
Um, all right. This is an exciting question. I like this. How many more units have you bought for your business since we started?
Oh, geez.
Uh-oh. Oh man.
I hesitate to say because I think then everybody that watches this is going to want to use you.
Oh, that's the goal.
Yeah. No,
We
I,
won't,
I think,
I won't cheat in Vegas, I promise. Okay.
right. Since we started using Porta Potty Marketing Pros, we have bought, I think we've added 500 pieces of plastic to our fleet
Hmm.
and 3 trucks. Even more importantly than the number of units that we've purchased is the number of cleanings and services we're doing each
Cool.
week. I think the industry needs to change how it measures things.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to ask, how many units do you have? But
Yeah.
to me, that's not really the question. The question is how many services you're performing on a weekly or monthly basis, because that's what's billable. A unit sitting in the yard isn't collecting any money. So the answer to your question is around 500 pieces of plastic is what we've added since we started using you. But the drill down is that we have grown our services per week by about 8x, about 8 times over. And we've grown, maybe it's 7 times over, and we've grown revenue about 10 times over because we're finding the right folks that are spending the right amount of money for the right length of term. And we're able to get route density. Everything about it is better when you have more rentals, obviously. And it doesn't just make the business grow top line. The efficiency helps it grow bottom line as well.
Absolutely. That sounds great. Scott, I think you kind of answered this, but why do you think having an online presence for any sanitation porta potty company is important?
My understanding about, the buying generations right now is that almost nobody makes a purchase decision without first doing their homework at least a little bit online. It might be checking a review. It might be just seeing if they come up in more than one search. I don't even know, but I feel confident. I fully believe that people don't make a decision without doing at least a little bit of homework. So an online presence is key to that. That's their first line of defense for us as business owners, or not defense. Maybe it's the first line of offense for us as business owners, is to make sure that in a search, our name comes up. That's the first touch point. Then they do a little searching around. They see our name somewhere else. Then they see some reviews. Then they make a call and they hear a friendly voice on the phone. But the very first interaction they have with our business, probably 9 out of 10 times, is through the internet and how they find us online. So it's really important that first impression is a good one.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, not everything is good, with everything. Nothing's perfect. But as far as issues created because you did get so many calls, you did get so many inquiries, sometimes those wonderful people called the brokers give you a call. How many of those calls do you get with your online marketing at times?
Yeah. We don't get flooded with broker calls. We get a few. And I don't have a big problem with brokers. I don't have a big problem with brokers. They bring us business as well. So, maybe it's a little leaner business. Maybe the margins aren't quite the same. But some folks in different parts of the country have a big problem and others don't. We do pretty well. So I think that when brokers are searching in a market, just like a regular person, they're going to Google it and see who they can find. So it's important for all the same reasons that they have a good experience in finding us as well. Believe that we're professional, that we're fast to answer, that we're responsive, that we communicate well, that we deliver on what we say we will, and then that equals business down the road. That's not just one sale. That results in multiple sales if you have a good broker experience.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I could agree with that. It's nice to be on top of the list of them, though, right?
Right.
Some of those you're better. So tell me this. I think this is an exciting question for you. What is Royal Flush's goals for the next few years? I know you like this question.
I love this question. Royal Flush has big goals for the next few years. I said earlier that we have already grown just about 10 times over 10x in the last 2 years. I don't believe we will grow 10x again in the next few years, but we will absolutely double. And I think there's an outside chance that we triple. And that certainly won't be, strictly on our own. It's going to take some hard work and sales efforts. And the tip of that spear, is marketing.
Absolutely. Now, what would be your advice to another porta potty business owner? It's not just marketing, but it's other things. So Porta Potty Marketing Pros is a great asset, of course, but it's not the all-in-one solution. And I think that as a pretty experienced business owner. Am I correct?
I think so.
Other avenues. What are some other avenues that you use besides Porta Potty Marketing Pros?
Oh, well, I certainly won't share all my secrets.
Oh, okay.
But I think avenues that any good business owner, would have networking opportunities where they have partners in adjacent industries that could use them on a frequent basis. Network opportunities like the Chamber of Commerce, BNI, Business Networking International. There are several places to find the folks that are in a decision-making capacity that could use us. We have some other, routes we go that I'll keep close to the vest. But, to keep your sales hat on at all times and to always be marketing the business and branding it. I think marketing and branding the business is a little different than selling.
Yeah.
And to always be marketing and branding is important so that when that individual does need us, they
Mhm.
call us
Mhm.
instead of just calling whoever they can find,
Yeah,
right? We want them to call us first.
absolutely. Why do you think Porta Potty Marketing Pros is different than your standard marketing agency who gives you a call? Why is it? What's the difference?
Porta Potty Marketing Pros is different than I think I get as many of these calls a week as I do paid advertising calls for my business. But the number of Google marketing guys that call and say, we'll increase your SEO, we'll increase your pay per click, we'll increase your activity and your phone
Mhm.
calls. The difference between Porta Potty Marketing Pros and all those folks just dialing, trying to hope to find business owners like me, is the expertise in the industry.
Yeah.
I would dare to say that nobody, if anybody, very few folks have the time in the industry, the repetitions, the experience to call on, the network to call on, and the relationships and the deep understanding of the industry to make it a successful partnership and a successful marketing campaign.
No, awesome. Well, I'd like to think so. Now, last question I'll give you. So you started with 200 units when you first started with us. You're a smaller company. You're looking to grow. In someone in the same position as yourself, previous Scott, what would you give advice to with someone at 200 units thinking about signing up for marketing and going forward?
Sure. I think this would apply for people with far less than 200 units.
Yeah.
If you're at 50 units,
Yeah.
Uh, the difficulty for so many business owners in a blue collar space is a lot of times those owners are also operating.
Mhm.
And if you are in the operations, if you're working in your business, not on your business, so you're out on a truck, you're in the field, you are likely not answering the phones. You are likely not doing the proactive things it takes to gain future business.
Mhm.
You are doing what it takes to handle your current business. So whether you're 50 porta potties or 500 porta potties or 200 porta potties, if you want to grow that, unless you're the one that is out of the field and on the phones or in the sales role with the sales hat on, need somebody that's going to help you do that. So to grow your business, you have to grow sales.
Yeah.
And to grow sales, you have to grow your online presence. To grow your online presence, unless you're an expert at it, which I was not, then you will need help. And if you're going to get help, I would say get help from those that are most experienced in our industry. Porta Potty Marketing Pros fits the bill for me, but that's my suggestion. If you're whatever size you are, if you want to be bigger, you grow revenue by growing sales, you grow sales by growing marketing,
Mhm.
and you need help marketing to do it most effectively.
Okay. Hey, that's great. Okay. Well, Scott, I think that's all the questions I have for you. I think you're really, a lot of people are going to see this and be like, wow, like this is amazing. And they want to be just like Scott. They can grow up, be like you one day, right?
That's right.
That's right. All right. Thank you, Scott.